everybody. Welcome to The Best Thing Ever, a brand new podcast where four friends go on a quest for bestness. Each week, we're going to pick a topic, something that could potentially be the best thing ever, and then one of us will give a presentation, a deep dive on that topic, telling us about the history and philosophy of it. Then we're going to give it a performance review using techniques Ezra gleaned from his years as a corporate stooge. And then we're going to rank it on the master list of best things ever, where it must compete with every other thing that we have examined. Boy, that's distracting, Ezra. You're just ruining all my hard work. But we'll rank it in the list of best things of all time. And, today we are talking about cat videos. Today we're going to be talking about cat videos, including what happened. I'm gonna block you. You are out of this document. You are going to be out of this. We were finally going to do a better job.
We're doing great. Everything's going well.
Oh my God. This episode is going to include what happens when you put cats on boats. It's going to include a sickle guy gets his picture taken, and cats versus dogs. The numbers don't lie. If you're watching us on YouTube, you've already seen what assholes my friends are being in our sweet visuals on Fig Jam.
Can you paint a word picture for these assholes?
Yeah. Can we get a word picture, please?
If you're listening and you get curious about what we're talking about, you can see the whole slide deck. It's available on our website, bestthingeverpodcast.com, and we'll have the Figma attached in each episode. But now let's meet the team of former friends. I am Alex Falcone. I'm your host. You can also find me on TikTok at Alex_Falcone. And a fun fact about me is that I was the 2007 Walla Walla Valley Bowling Association champion. I should take this moment to say our introduction style is a game that I call Three Hosts and a Lie. We'll tell you at the end what the lie was. So my fun fact, 2007 Walla Walla Valley Bowling Association champion. Also joining me, our marketing daddy. He is been to over 20 countries. It's Ezra Fox.
Hi.
Ezra, you're also going to be our official audio-visual interpreter for the day. So for people listening at home, make sure that they don't miss anything. Also joining us today, our angry socialist historian and comedian Anthony Lopez has only ever been in one fight, and it was over a Pokemon card.
Yeah, and I got my
Hey,
ass
Anthony?
kicked. Hey, yeah.
Somebody played Squirtle and you just weren't ready for it. Also joining us, rounding out the panel today, you also know him as the host of the Old Gamers Almanac podcast. He's our chill gamer heartthrob and comedian Hunter Donaldson, who once bumped into the singer Lorde while getting a hot dog.
Yeah, that's true. And Lorde gets their hot dogs bunless, just holding the dog, just in hand, dog in hand.
Wait, low carb, but also just high hand.
Just kind of holding the dog and then just like putting ketchup and relish just in the hand.
Too. Oh man, now people
right
hate
in the
Lorde.
hand.
Well,
She was presumably high, just leaving a.
If you have like very thin hands, because if you have like thick fingers, you might confuse one of them for the hot dog and actually take a bite out of it. That would have been
Wow, I thought I bought one hot dog, but it came out with 6 hot dogs.
Yeah.
All at different angles. What a great day. Well, let's get started with what we're going to do today. So I mentioned the topic today is cat videos, our first ever topic. If you didn't, you can go back and listen to our preseason episode last week where we figured out what we're going to talk about this year.
Wait, Alex, what was the lie?
I said we'll tell you at the end of the show.
Oh.
You have to stick around until the end of the show to know which of the host facts was a lie.
All right, tell me then.
Although I don't think, I think if I was going to pick a lie, it would be that anyone has ever bitten their fat fingers because they thought it was a hot dog. I'm going to guess that has not actually happened.
No, that's happened.
So as I mentioned before,
a lot of fingers,
Anthony is our angry socialist historian. So each week, one of us will give a presentation on the history of the topic. It's not always going to be Anthony, but it frequently will be because he's really flipping good at it. So if you would like, Anthony, let's do a deep dive into cat videos.
Yeah. Hey. All right. So we're all following me and all that jazz.
Yeah, we're on
first,
you. You are the star.
I thought I would start with some cats we know. I had everyone send me some photos of their cats. I don't think I got one from Hunter, but I got you with your neighbor's kitty, Alex, right here.
Yeah. It's
Describe that cat.
Happens. I've never had a pet. I've never been allowed to have a pet growing up. We did have goldfish for about 3 days, which is normal, I think, like an average lifespan. That was it. And we had an invisible cat. Have you guys seen those invisible leashes, the invisible pet leashes?
Oh,
it's
sure,
like a
sure.
novelty gift.
Great gag.
where it's like a fake leash and you press a button and it goes meow. Anyway, we had one of those, but it just so
I had
happens when you
something
asked
like
me
that
this,
with my dad's love, like kind of like an invisible version of that as a kid.
you just walking around on a fake
Yeah.
leash. But it just so happens I was babysitting. We were cat sitting yesterday. Our neighbors have this brand new kitten who is like the smallest little guy, and he's so amazing, and he just wants to wrestle with my feet.
Yeah, the cat eyes really do look like the Puss in Boots like eyes when the Puss in Boots is making like that.
He's the size to have those big cartoony eyes. Oh, he's so cute. His name is Rio, and I guess this is sort of an advice moment.
His name is Rio,
and
he dances by the sand.
Presumably he will, although right now he's an indoor cat.
Okay.
But you guys, how do I tell my neighbor that this is my cat now?
Just put a sticky note that says dibs on it.
There you go.
Pretty
Just
good.
label it.
Yeah,
Alex.
just labeling.
Just label it Alex.
Oh, I do have one of those ka-chunk label makers. I should just put it's my cat now.
Alex's cat. Don't touch. Like put a don't touch sign on it.
Yeah. It really is mine now, and I'm going to let it live over there for a little while, and then one day it's just going to move over here. I'm going to tell him it escaped, and I'm really sorry, but man, I want this cat so bad.
It's a real good looking cat.
Who else do we got here, Anthony?
Ezra, you sent us this photo of this kitty
this
here.
is my childhood cat. This is really sweet because when you're asking for a cat, I was like, I had a cat when I was growing up. I had 2 cats, but like this is pre-digital. Except I had a digital camera like 20 years ago, and so I actually have this photo. Yeah.
Back when devices used to be separate devices.
Yes, this is my like Canon like PowerShot S30.
Nice.
And so I had a little like clicky thing, but this cat was Seed Lips, and it's kind of a
Seed Lips.
No, Seed Lips. So this is my sister named the cat and this cat's brother Jupiter when she was like 3 years old, and there was a plant we had in the backyard, which she thought was called a Seed Lips plant, and so she named this cat after after that plant that she also made a name up for, I think.
Also, if when I steal Rio, I might change his name to Seedless because I like a seedless cat.
Oh yeah, you don't want those seeds.
And then Anthony, you've got 82 cats.
So these are my 3 cats. We have Mick, Caspian, and Zuko.
Just to give it, so Mick is a void. He's a black cat.
Solid black cat.
Caspian is like used to be black, but is faded to about a medium gray now.
Faded cat.
Well camouflaged.
Zuko wears a tuxedo every day.
Yes. So I like that you have 3 grayscale cats.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know, we've kind of collected all of them over the years. Caspian just showed up during COVID, during a bad smoke storm. He just showed up one day and was like, I live here now. I love all my cats evenly, but I posted an extra photo of Zuko because the thing about Caspian and Mick is that they're very, very smart and they're kind of troublemakers. What I love about Zuko is you look him in the eyes and there is just nothing going on in there. You know what I mean? He is just such a sweet dummy.
Yeah.
I love a sweet dumb cat.
You know, so talking about cats, I thought
Hunter, will you tell us about your cats then, even though you don't have, because you didn't respond to the photo request?
Oh, yeah, if you want to include that. So my mother has like 13 cats.
Whoa.
That's how, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, which one do you want me to talk about?
Favorite? Best? I don't know.
Was it always 13? How did it get, or did you slowly accumulate them like Anthony?
Well, so there's such a thing as, I guess the cliched term is crazy cat person, which I personally don't approve of. As someone that was raised by someone like that.
Make it person, though. You were like, I don't want to gender it, but it's a crazy asshole.
Oh, yeah, sure. But yeah, so that's just who my mother is. So she just kind of collects them and has always had lots.
There is an amount, and I assume it's 4, but after you have 4, you can add or remove without noticing that much, right?
Exactly. Yeah. After 4, it's all gravy. It's just like there's no difference between 4 and 50, except for you know.
It's like if you guys read Watership Down when you were kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Watership Down? They can't count past 3, so it's like their number system is 1, 2, 3, infinity, 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 infinity. I feel like that's what you do with cats. After 3, it's like infinity. As somebody
with 3 cats, let me tell you something. Something I learned after we got the 3rd one is that 2 cats is a very manageable amount of cats.
Yeah.
3 cats is an ungodly amount of cats. I don't know why, but there's something about just that kitten energy. 3 cats has really fucked up my shit over the last 2 years.
Really?
But I love them.
Interesting.
I agree. But we got
let's get into it. So actually, oh no, Anthony, before you do this, sorry, really quick. let's find out now the history of cats.
So I wanted to present this video. I think it would be good for a first episode that we could actually learn something from the history of cats. So I called this presentation How to Become a Viral Star.
Oh, thank God. I need this.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be good for us because I think the story of cats is a very good story of how you become a viral sensation, you know? So cats started, 10 million years ago. The sort of, feline breed sort of evolved. The original cats.
The line,
Yeah, that was 10 million years ago. And the thing about cats then is they had 0 subscribers, 0 followers, and no one to smash that like button. You can see that here. No likes, no dislikes, nothing.
But to be fair to them, that was a good number for those days.
Oh, yeah. Great numbers for those days.
Yeah. Now that doesn't do you very good. But
like... the thing is, it really, very quickly, it stopped being good numbers because what happened was dogs came around. And dogs were kind of like the first viral sensation because, humans were hunter-gatherers. We could use dogs. Dogs were pack animals. They were very, very good for humans. So dogs had been around for a very, very long time and sort of interacting with humans. But cats were just kind of nobodies for millions of years until 12,000 years ago. Old friend agriculture shows up. And we're going to specifically go to Mesopotamia. We're going to go to the Fertile Crescent. So this right here.
I remember all this stuff. You're getting me now. I know. These are my 2 things I know.
Cuneiform.
Cuneiform, land between 2 rivers, I think.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what happened is we started making these sort of big holes to put a bunch of food in. So we were producing more food than we needed.
Oh.
And we would put them in big pots. And we would put them in holes because humans.
I like this breakthrough in technology. Was like, guys,
holes.
What if we made a hole?
Yeah. What about a hole?
What about a hole?
Here's our problem. Every time we try to put food in the ground, it just bounces off the ground.
Yeah.
Can we make the ground lower?
Exactly. But the problem with that is it attracted rats and mice. And
famous hole dwellers.
Right, famous hole dwellers. Here's the thing: you put food in a hole, you're gonna get some mice. We all know that. That's a fact, right?
We all know that.
Yeah.
Well, but rats are also good. Okay. Look, besides the plague,
good for
cute as hell.
No, yeah, but
okay. Look, we're gonna talk about cute animals.
Friendly.
And so friendly. I think. Okay, look, this is one of my hottest takes. Rats fucking rule. That's my take. I think rats are amazing. They're super cute. When I see a rat in the subway, I'm like, hey, little guy. That's it. I'm not mad.
I always try and see where they're going so I can come with them.
The only thing.
Room for one more.
Yeah, I like that. The other thing, although I don't know if this happened, if you've seen this in New York, Hunter, in LA, what happens? There are rats in the subways. There are also mice in the subways, and I don't know if you know this. A rat will eat the shit out of a mouse.
Oh yeah.
In front of you.
So you're anti-mouse then and pro-rat?
Nope, big pro-mouse. I think they should get along ideally.
Oh, you like them all.
They can probably help each other, but they're just not exploring that possibility.
Exactly. They should. They have more in common than they have apart, I think. Well, I've been trying to get my wife to let me adopt a rat for the last week, and it's not working so far. But I want to get a little overweight rat named Mr. Chubbins, and I want to have him sit on my shoulder sometimes while he's working, and then I also want him to predict the weather. This came out of me being mad about the groundhog. Like, why do we only ask an animal about the weather once a year? When
it's a great bit. It's like stuffing, right? It's like we should have stuffing more times during the year.
Yeah,
I agree with both of these takes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, sort of the biggest issue we're sort of having here is that we're very much looking at animals through the sort of modern lens. I really want us to get into the mindscape of these were people who only had kids so they could put them to work, right?
Right, sure.
These were the idea of pets is a very relatively new concept that we'll get to. So, at this point, we're not thinking of rats as possible pets. We're thinking of them as something that eat your food, shit in your food, spread disease, right?
That's true. I don't want the poop part. That's true.
And at this point,
I don't want the poop part either, but they could be a little more laissez-faire about it. Jesus. You only live once.
I mean, look, I didn't dig this whole hole just to like feed rats.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe you did though. Why not have a little hole, like 2 holes, one for the people, one for the rats?
This is like those videos where people are like, the cat kept walking on my keyboard, so I gave him his own little keyboard. Give the rats their own little hole next to the food hole.
It's kind of tribute.
Your food.
It's kind of like you worship the rats now.
Yeah,
exactly.
The problem with that is you're just gonna end up with 2 rat holes, and then you gotta dig a third one, and then you're gonna end up with 3 rat holes, and
that's a new job. Just
look,
digging rat holes. You have to have kids to dig rat holes now.
So actually, it's funny because we're sitting there trying to brainstorm, and humans didn't even actually figure out what they did. What happens is cats just showed up because that's where the food was, right?
Oh, you dig a rat hole. Cats show up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The first mousetrap was very accidental.
Yes, exactly. It was just a cat showed up. They were good at hunting rats, hunting mice. They were good at attacking snakes, poisonous snakes. Cats, and this got them a few likes, right? This started their viral sensation. And the thing, what happens next is cats, start to get some good word of mouth to them. They start to spread. And what happens is the cats hit the road. And by the road, I mean the sea. Because of their sort of like use as labor and as pest control, they become very, very popular for sailors because boats have rats, right?
What is a boat but a floating rat hole?
Exactly. And not just that. You know what also rats love besides shitting in your food and then eating the non-shitting food? Is they love chewing through ropes. And ropes was so important to old boats. They're still important to boats. Ropes and boats name a more iconic pair, right?
Yeah. That's how you start the engine. You need a rope to go.
But so because of this, cats become they become this like thing that all boats have, right? A lot of boats have cats in them. And this is something like you can go out through history. There's a great story of this one cat during World War I who was in 3 sunk ships and survived all of them, and then ended up being like a British naval hero and retiring at a naval retirement home.
There's a great subgenre of stories that are like animals who got war medals.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is definitely a good one. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. War hero cats.
As you can see now, they're starting to get some retweets. They're starting to get some favorites. Cats are kind of taking off. And as they spread over the world, they have their first viral hit. They go viral in a way that very, very few people do. And by that, I mean they become gods in Egypt, right? Which is really the most viral you could possibly go, right?
Interesting.
Very viral.
As you can see, millions of followers and likes at this point. They had good word of mouth. They were starting to get kind of famous. They were having a good career. But then, of course, what happens to every up-and-coming viral star, you guys?
Oh, we find out they're racist?
They get canceled. Exactly.
Yes. No.
Milkshake
here, 19 million dislikes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring you now to the dark ages where cats got canceled.
What did they do?
So they were
witches.
The devil. Yes.
Yeah. Witches.
So this was a big thing. It's really funny that throughout history, cats have been canceled multiple times, and it's always due to their relation with Satan and witchcraft. And
I should be clear though, although cats were canceled, they still win Grammys. They're still selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
where are they going to go?
They're very popular.
That's just a thing somebody said, but then they're
more
doing
like
fine.
They just had like a bad PR phase. Like it's not real.
Yeah.
It didn't stick.
No.
I mean, like black cats were literally almost hunted out of extinction, but they're doing fine.
They're doing great now. You have 3 shades of them.
But yeah, what's so funny about this is like how stupid human beings have always been. Like, so a lot of this association with the devil and stuff like that came from like the plague and people thinking cats as Satan's allies spread the plague, so they killed cats. But by killing the cats, there was no one to stop the spread of rats.
Yeah,
that
which is
actually
making it worse.
Obviously, it is literally the same exact thing people do when they show up to fucking protest mask like wearing nowadays. Like it is the same stupid ass behavior that humans have always done.
Question though, why did we pick cats to be Satan?
Yeah, where did we come
that?
up with that? Did we just make that up? Like, what did
I'm sure
the cats
hear it
do?
from
I'm saying we're wrong, but like, how did we get there?
Well, of course we're wrong, but cats must have done something.
I didn't know. To be clear, I'm not saying cats did something.
No, I get what you're saying. Like,
Okay.
there must be something to this, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, so there's a few things to it, right? One, fleas also spread the plague, which cats could carry, right?
Yeah.
So there was an association sort of there that was sort of based in reality, but of course rats made it way worse. There was, I think the fact that like, one of the things that I think makes cats so appealing is that they're sort of like a mischievous, very hard to understand creature, right? They're very interesting and standoffish, and like the sort of one of the things I sort of love about cats opposed to like sort of like dogs, right, is that like dogs are so willing to meet us more than halfway, while cats won't even meet us like a quarter of the way there. Our entire relationship with cats over 12,000 years has been us having to move towards the cats, and the cats barely giving us anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's assume that cats are not the devil. What animal is? What animal do we think is most likely to be working in conjunction with the devil today?
Humans?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's cheating. That's our own image. But who else? What other animal is most likely to be helping the devil?
Goats certainly.
Goats?
I think
Sure.
definitely you're up to some satanic shit.
Yeah,
a
they
lot
got the
of
horns and the goatee.
But I
inherently don't trust.
I feel like the devil is taking the form of a goat. Like I've never seen like the devil as a goat, but then he has like goat friends. Like I've never seen the goat.
Oh wait, is the devil lonely?
I mean, I do think the devil is kind of lonely.
Yeah,
well, that's fair.
He wasn't looking for a soul to steal. He just wanted to make some friends.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, you want to play the fiddle with me, buddy?
He wants a book club. I would love. I think moths is my guess are one of the most likely to be devil related because they're gross. They love flame, right?
Yeah, but they're so pretty.
They're not pretty. They're horrifying.
They're very pretty. They're the prettiest.
Yeah,
I think moths are so pretty. They're so pretty.
Moths?
Yeah, they got beautiful earth tones. They're like kind of crunchy, you know.
All right. Look, man, I'm in favor of rats. You can like your moths.
Earwigs. It's earwigs, guys. It's earwigs.
Earwigs for sure.
Or those fish at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, they're already very close to hell in general.
Whoa.
They have a lamp on their head.
Whoa. I will be clear. The stuff at the bottom of our Earth ocean is way scarier than the devil. I would rather the devil
would not go down
take
there.
me. The devil can have my soul before I would ever go down to the bottom of the ocean to see the freaky stuff down there.
Okay, and I'll just come out on the other side. I'm pro fish in any situation.
Yo, Alex. Fish don't exist.
Yo, fish don't exist.
What?
Y'all need to read the book. Why fish don't exist? It's amazing.
Wait,
fish
is
probably
this
do not
like
exist.
birds are not real type thing? Like birds are all
it's
birds
like,
were
there's no
replaced by
such thing as a
governments
vegetable.
by satellites in the 1970s?
More like the vegetable. There is a such thing as a vegetable, but no, it's like basically like that there isn't like one. There's like not like there's not like a one thing that is all these fish have this thing. It's like if you go into the anatomy of it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So the thing with vegetables is like fruit is a very specific definition. Vegetable is any plant we like that's not fruit. There's no definition of vegetable. There's nothing that is a vegetable, except we just think that's cool.
Okay, then yes, exactly like that.
Deep sea fish, badass. But here's the thing: if deep sea fish are associated with the devil, they're doing a terrible job. We're never there. We're nowhere near them.
Look, you set up shop and you don't realize where the highway is going to be when you set up shop sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they saw like
they got all stoked and excited.
Jacques Cousteau came down and they're like, man, people are going to be hitting us up. We're going to be blowing up soon. And then
it's gonna be huge.
Anytime now, got to franchise it out.
Cameron floats by, but that's it. They got nothing.
Yeah, so what do you do when you get canceled, right? How do you get your name back in?
For podcast.
Well, yeah, podcast. But the thing is, you're going to need some help. You're going to need some help from influencers. So I want to introduce you to the original influencers, royalty.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful cat queen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks like a very good stately looking cat as Queen
Victoria.
Victoria?
It's supposed to be, yes. So here's the thing. Everything between before this all the way back to 12,000 years ago, cats were kind of viewed very much the same way, right? They were mostly laborers, pest control. People liked them when they didn't hate them and burn them as witches.
Sure.
But like there wasn't really like a relationship with pets. Again, this is the time when people would have kids to create laborers, right? People didn't take animals in if they weren't going to pit them for work or have them for food, right? It was a very rich, bougie thing that people would look down on if people had pets. But around the 1800s, that's when a society and as a culture sort of started to change towards animals. And a lot of things happened very, very quickly. It's actually kind of amazing how new and how fast the idea of pets got established. So it was like basically, for 1,000 plus years, 10,000 plus years, everything was exactly the same. And then the last 200, things changed. And there's a handful of reasons for that. One, we got to talk about Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria was born in the early 1800s. She lived in 1891. She was a huge fan of animals. She established the first animal cruelty prevention society. She had dozens of pets. All of her kids had pets. And
she opened that underwear store.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell anyone about it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Think about what she's wearing under these 12 layers right here. It was hot. But yeah, this really started to change the way people viewed animals, right? People started to like think of them as like, part of their families. They would sort of started bringing them in their house. They started spending more time with them. And it wasn't just Queen Victoria. It was a lot of rich people, a lot of affluent, especially sort of like, women who were stuck kind of in a house and couldn't really go anywhere. They were just on these huge estates. They would sort of take pets in and get photographed with them and tell their friends about them. And, for the common person, that was kind of really looked down upon. Like people thought this was just so frivolous and wasteful. And I get it, right? If like people were starving and royalty is feeding cats nicer food than you, that can be upsetting. But there begins a sort of societal change. There's actually a lot of stuff written about how in the early 1800s, they started promoting families to have their children raise pets so that children would be less psychopaths, essentially. They were like, we have to teach kids. Yeah, we have to teach kids that like other things have feelings and that they have to care for things. So pets become like this whole idea of like something like you give your kids pets and then they take care of them and they learn responsibility. They learn to care about something else. They become sort of nicer, sweeter people. So here's some photos and paintings of Queen Victoria's pets. And like I said, a bunch of her family and friends and all their different pets.
And if you kind of want to image it, this is just, it's like just a filter. Just imagine, some I guess, cosplay, like steampunk cosplay with a pet, and like sort of a sepia filter. That's about right.
Yeah. And also I just do not understand how they got like some of the dogs. I understand getting them to sit still for these long ass photos. I do not know how they did that with cats. I'm very impressed.
I totally okay. You have to be clear. Every one of these pictures, the cat looks like it's trying to get away.
Yeah,
just like every picture I've ever taken with a cat. Every one of these cats is like just on the verge of leaving, except for the one cat that is asleep. That's the only one that's like chill in a photograph.
And this sort of society starts to change very rapidly, drastically. A lot of pet culture comes from the UK, which I was very surprised to hear about. Like sort of the UK and England pioneered a lot of pet stuff, and then that spread to the States and the rest of the world. But sort of like the idea of pets come from England, specifically in the UK at this time. And a lot of sort of big things sort of happened around this. In 1871.
Looks like in one of those.
Oh, what was that?
I was just going to say in one of the paintings, it looks like there's a person that's dressed as a cat in the painting with all the cats. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Which
in the painting with the cats, there's a person in there.
Which one?
Wait. I'm seeing it.
You just you're
want to fuck a cat?
That person, there's literally a person. I'm seeing the person. It's
what
cats,
quadrant?
like the musical cats. Like the center.
Okay.
The center. That's a person.
That's a person.
The front center?
If we checked, I'm sure. Yeah. If they CG'd out like all like the the human bits, but yeah, absolutely. That's Judi Dench.
Yeah, so in 1871, we had the first cat show ever in England. Now, this was important because this is essentially TwitchCon of cats, right? This is like how you know cats are going viral. They're popping off.
When you got
convention.
When you got a con, you're a big deal.
Yeah. So here's the winner of the first ever cat show. I don't know this cat's name. I couldn't find any information on it.
You know about what I can tell you about this cat? He looks like he's trying to get out of this picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the confusing thing about cats, I think, in old pictures is that they look like cats now. This is a cat, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about cats is, so when
You're saying we haven't improved it, we haven't had any new features with like
they haven't like
OS 12 is pretty much the same.
The facial hair of cats is largely the same as where it's not for humans.
That's the thing about cats is, you're right, Alex. They have literally not updated the firmware in 12,000 years. Genetically, cats today are the exact same as the West African cat that came into those holes 12,000 years ago.
Rat holes.
Yeah, so like all cats, every cat on the planet is descended from the West African cat and is like 90+% genetically identical. Cats have not changed or evolved really at all in 12,000 years. They are still the same, basically wild animal, and they've just sort of slightly gotten a little bit nicer, slightly more domesticated. But they're almost identical to the cats that we first met 12,000 years ago.
Because we're like inventing new dogs all the time.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They roll out a new like what was it, 10 years ago? They figured out the doodle system, and like there's new dogs constantly.
The doodle decimal system.
Also in the 1870s, we have Harry Pointer. This guy was the first cat photographer. So this guy pioneered frivolous cat photography. This was him.
We've finally gotten to it. We've met him. We found him.
So all of these photos, his whole thing was cats doing human things. I really like this one of the two
cats wearing dunce caps.
Yeah.
They've been bad.
I don't know how I feel about this. These feels like, I don't know, like, you know how cats don't want to be in those photos? These cats really don't seem like they want to be in these photos. They're like wearing like little like kid clothes. They're playing hopscotch with I think like looks like Megan like 1.0, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You mean just a normal doll?
Well, yeah, I said what I said.
M1gun.
Mwangan.
And then you get to 1903. You have The Sick Kitten, which was the very first cat video. It was a video of someone feeding a sick kitten medicine.
Did it get better? Is it good now?
Well, I think the cat is dead by now. I think it's
sure?
2023.
It's
yeah,
1903. Some
I
cats live a long time.
It got medicine though.
Known some really old cats.
This cat is in its late 120s.
Yeah.
It looks like it might be a person wearing a cat suit. But...
I mean, yeah, this cat does look like an AI generated cat. This does not look like a real cat face to me.
Honestly, the other one didn't look like this, but this one does kind of look like there's a guy in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a guy in there, pretty much for all of them.
But and sort of at the turn of the 20th century, urbanization is starting to take off. People are moving to suburbs. People are moving into major cities, and they're bringing pets with them. But what was amazing to me, there's sort of one last major piece that had to fall into place for cats to truly take off. And this kind of blew my mind when I learned about it. But, up until this point, cats were mostly outdoor animals who would come in occasionally get fed. But they were very hard to keep in your house. And the reason why was because no one had invented kitty litter yet. Until 1947, Edward Lowe invented kitty litter.
The Lowe's Home Improvement Company?
No, this is a different Lowe.
Darn it! Really?
Yeah. The logo does kind of look
two things
the same.
he liked: litter and home improvement.
Okay, so what happened was, up until this point, people would have cats, use the restroom in the house in litter boxes. Like, the idea of a litter box was a thing. It wasn't called a litter box yet. It was just called a shit box, essentially. But people would use dirt or sand.
On the name, I think.
Yeah. They would use like
essentially
sand or whatever they could find.
It is a shit box.
Yeah, basically, it's what it was, right? It's what it still is. And people would just go to the beach or wherever and get sand, and they would have to carry it back themselves, and they would use it. But the problem is, it didn't do anything for the smell, it made it so cats tracked sand and dirt, or a very popular one was because everyone had wood fireplaces. You would just pull the ash out of your fireplace and scoop it in a box, and then go, okay, cat shit in that. And that would obviously make a huge mess through your house because the cats are stepping in piss-covered ash and dragging it everywhere, right?
Okay, question though. Why do cats, like, why are they just like, sure, I'll poop there? Like, how is it that
Well, it's,
you can't tell a cat to do
evolutionary-wise, it's
anything
very
you
smart.
want?
Yeah. Well, instinctually, they want to bury their poop or their piss so that predators can't find them, right? That's why cats do it. That's why cats instinctually want to bury their waste, right? So that's why they do that out in nature, because they do the same thing outdoor cats, wild cats. They all do the same exact thing, but they bury their waste. Or
it's kind of rugged if you think about it. You know, it's kind of like a rugged, like they're like spies. You know, they're like out here like they're like on a mission.
Whenever a cat walks through the snow, it has an instinct to grab a branch and sweep behind it. So you don't see its little footprint.
It also automatically knows where the blind spots are on your camera and waits for like it really is good at detecting like the guard patterns as well, shift changes.
They're kind of secret agent.
Shift changes. That's
cats
a great thing about cats.
Also exclusively walk in single file to hide their
you know? Always have each other's footprints. But can't shoot straight though. Terrible shot.
The story of kitty litter is actually pretty interesting. So like I said, he was like a supply seller. He had a neighbor come over one day and be like, oh my God, my cat keeps shitting in my ash and it's such a mess. I hate it. And he was like, well, a clay supplier had just came by and dropped off a sample of clay that he had no intention of buying more of. So he said, hey, try this clay. And the guy went, used the clay, came back the next day. He's like, oh my God, it's a fucking game changer, dude. I need more of that clay. I need that clay for my cat to shit in. And Edward Lowe was like, oh my God, there's a business in this. And it's crazy. It sounds like it would have been an immediate hit, but it wasn't. It took him so long to get kitty litter to become a thing. He would go around, he would go to cat shows, and he would offer to like set up a booth. He would offer to go around and do all the kitty litter of all the cats at the cat show, because he would just would talk about how much cat shows used to smell awful. Until, again, the first cat show was in the 1800s, and it wasn't until the 1940s that cat shows didn't smell like absolute death, right?
Wow.
Because it would just be
in the 1800s. The average smell was also worse.
That's so like how bad did it smell? Because generally everyone was like a pro at smelling bad stuff all the time.
That's true.
Yeah. If your streets are full of human poo,
the
fact that there's cat poo at the cat show, probably not the worst thing.
For all you know, actually, the cat show was like a nice smelling place you could go.
Yeah. You get a cleaner animal. Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. But this did take off, obviously. And what this did was this allowed for indoor cats to really become a thing, right? And this is what allowed cats to really take off in viralness and get billions of views, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about now. Cats,
billions.
The stage is ready.
We had all the pieces in place. Now it was finally time to invent the internet.
Yes. But yeah, in 2006, Puppy vs. Cat was uploaded to YouTube. You can tell it was 2006 because there wasn't a lot of pixels to go around in 2006.
Yeah, really.
That's why the picture's so blurry.
Here's what's happened: is there's it looks like 7 golden retriever puppies walking down a hallway and one cat holding its ground, not letting them pass. It's a classic. You shall not pass, and all the puppies would like to pass, and they can't.
Well, you got to think, one, it's like a pack animal versus a solitary animal. Cats are big believers in the castle doctrine. So, like, if you come into their house, they're going to fucking put you down.
They definitely have that right.
So this
eventually
right here,
the dogs get the courage up to come near it, but okay. In the end, a full-size golden retriever does show up,
and then a human picks up the cat.
And the human takes the cat away. Yeah,
I love that this video.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
it's good history.
Still gets a ton of views, even though it's only 240p. I think is like the highest.
We just gave it 2 more.
Yeah. But yeah, this was the very first cat video uploaded on the internet. Amazing. Obviously, cats had been of the internet since the beginning. They are often referred to as like an essential building block. You know, cat memes are very popular in emails in the early internet. You have a lot of like early meme sites dedicated to cats. But
I like that this though the first ever cat video is still also a dog video. That the rivalry has already begun in May of 2006.
Yep.
But once this got uploaded, right, the floodgates open, and we get to the age of the celebrity cat, right? So we have Grumpy Cat, obviously.
Oh.
He has met
Grumpy Cat.
so many celebrities. Here's a picture of him with Stan Lee. There are so many
Stanley's
photos.
making a little cameo in this Grumpy Cat photo.
Yeah, it made a little grump face.
But yeah, Grumpy Cat, I mean, this is when we go from like all the like using cats for labor for a little bit to kind of help us really pays off, because at this point these cats are making people millionaires, literally.
Yeah, right.
So
well, and also it's interesting as a shift though. This is not just cats generally. This is like love of an individual cat that you want to like actually more of. Like this one.
There's a lot of personality on this cat's face.
Yeah, they become celebrities, right? So Grumpy Cat, you have Little Bubs. He's just out here trying his best.
Little Bubs is the one where his tongue is broken and sticks out.
Yeah, he has a genetic issue that causes him to make that. But also, he's going to Animal Planet's Puppy Bowl. You have Muru, who's the most subscribed Japanese cat. He's the most subscribed cat on the internet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have all the cat memes that are out there.
Yeah, of course, this cat is half Pop-Tart.
Yeah, Nyan Cat, cats, fucking around with computers, all this stuff. Starting in around I think it was 2016, the first cat video festival was announced, and these happen all over the world. Here's literally a photo of people in a stadium watching cat videos.
That's pretty rad.
It's the best place to watch.
Imagine
the energy.
And they're very excited about this cat thing.
Yeah, I always like to watch a cat video opening night because I like the energy of everyone being around.
You don't want to get spoiled, right? That's the thing. Is you just, if you don't see the cat video opening night, you got to stay off Twitter until you see it.
They make them for the big screen. Okay,
they really. Maru's vision involved that extra space. If you're cutting it down for YouTube, you're not getting the full vision.
No.
Also, I want to show Anthony. Will you show that other photo to the left a little bit? One more, because I think Hunter. I think there might be a person in there.
I think there's some people in that cat.
I'm not.
Yeah,
this is just people who I can't tell.
These are cats cosplaying as people, or people cosplaying as cats. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know which one's
very hard to determine.
Yeah, it's very good job, everybody.
Let me give you some facts. It is estimated 15% of all internet traffic involves cats. I do not believe that fact. I saw that.
Higher or lower?
I think that's way too high. I think 15%. That's just far too much.
I don't know.
It's a pretty smart number for my brain, at least. I'm willing to buy it.
It includes maybe like cat scans or like maybe like things that are like.
I don't think those are that big. I think that's kind of a negligible addition.
Well,
it could be like cat business stuff. Like
there's a lot of the tractor trailer company.
Yeah. I mean, I could be. I just 15%. That's a lot of percentage of all internet traffic.
It's like one out of every 7 internets.
Yeah.
I feel like when you boil the internet down, there's only like a few things that it's about, So cats is one of that.
There are over 6.5 billion images of cats that exist on the internet. That I do believe.
I've seen all of them.
Even.
Yeah, there are tens of millions of cat videos on YouTube alone. This is something else I think is really interesting, is that in our sort of digital hellscape we live in, cat videos are at the forefront of every new streaming service and platform, right?
Absolutely.
Like TikTok, if it didn't have cat videos, would not be TikTok. Facebook, if it didn't have cat videos, would not be Facebook, right? Cat videos have helped the start and spread. The fact that like a cat video was one of the first viral videos on YouTube, if it wasn't for cats, like I really do wonder the impact that all of these networks and streaming services would even have,
It's very easy to draw a direct line from the rise of the cat video to the alt-right.
And then sort of the final thing I wanted to do was this very interesting report I found that kind of blew my mind. And that was that dogs are actually much more popular than cats on the internet.
Not even close.
Whoa.
So if you look here, if you compare it to YouTube videos mentioning dogs versus cats, dogs win. Google Trends, dogs are far more searched. The biggest cats on Facebook have nothing compared to Boo the dog on Facebook. Instagram.
I saw that this research was on here, but I didn't spoil it for myself. I am disappointed to learn this.
Yeah, it's weird, right? When you look at the herd numbers of the fact that dogs are far more searched and viewed and present on the internet, it is odd that cats are the default, right? Of like,
I would also say that, but if you look at this, if you look at these graphics, a dog. So for example, on Instagram, dogs get 150 million searches, cats get 120 million. But if you look at the graphic, I would say a cat is about 120, 146ths of a dog. Like, I think proportional to their size, this seems correct.
Also, I'll put in this, I guess. So like dog versus cat searches, absolutely, like, of the whole thing. But if you look at just like dog videos versus cat videos, it's still it's actually quite a bit closer. It's like, it's not like a knockout. So like maybe people want more dogs to have in their homes, but I think in terms of like it's less of a knockout for like I would watch both, I guess.
What do you think explains that spike there? I don't know if you're seeing that.
Oh yeah, there's a big blue spike. So I think that is Stampy Cat, I believe, is what I saw.
Okay.
Wait, actually, no, sorry, it's a different thing. No, I don't know. This is whatever happened. Something happened with cats October 2019. Someone.
Wow.
Yeah, people got real into cats then. I'm not sure what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is something I should keep better track of. Just in my life,
there's the big cat chatter in October 2019, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for that incredible presentation on the history of cat videos.
Oh my gosh, so good.
All right, it's time for our patented 3-step review process. Ezra is the only one of us who spent a lot of time in corporate America, but he's brought a lot in about quarterly reports. He knows how to do employee reviews. He knows a SWOT analysis when he sees one. So we're going to break it down. We're going to do our strengths, weaknesses, and things we need to change, not for us, for cat videos. For strengths, I want to start out by talking about our favorite genres of cat videos. I'll suggest a couple things. I always love a video where any animal is slipping on a hardwood floor. I like where an animal is having trouble getting traction. I think it's a great time. I love a cat on a Roomba every time. Still have not gotten sick of that. Anytime an animal is riding something and not sure why, I really like it. So there was a viral one on TikTok a couple days ago that was like a cat swipes, I think, at a Roomba, gets his caulk, like grabs it, and then it just gets dragged across the floor out of the room and becomes a mop. I love that.
See, one of my things I love about cats, and like kind of going back into the sort of the mysterious nature of cats, is that cats are very much like I've known a lot of people who have dated kind of mysterious, odd people, and they thought like, oh, I'm going to change them. But it's like, you're not going to change Steve. Steve is Steve, right? What are you going to do? Cats are like that for animals. Like, my favorite type of cat videos, I love cute cat videos. I love troublesome cat videos. But I love cat videos when cats just do something that doesn't even make any sense. It's just weird and mysterious. And it's like, why the fuck did that cat just flip around like that for no good reason? Yeah, that's the best shit.
This is a great genre. Is a cat sitting still, and then something like no input, and then the cat does a crazy thing. Jump up, back, flips out. I love a cat flipping out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the joy of it, I think generally, is that we understand, but not super well, cat psychology and like cat physics. Like, we understand it pretty well, but not fully. In a way that like it's like they're non-Newtonian in like lots of ways. So like
they're a liquid. They need they need to be in a box. Yeah. They like they'll I love a video where a cat finds like a vase or something that it should not fit in, and then and now it's inside it. How does that work?
Getting under like a crack in the door.
Cats are they say like if a cat can get its shoulders through it, it can get into anything and the rest of its body in it.
That's fascinating.
But yeah, as someone with 3 cats, like the idea of like if I fit, I sit. Is something I see every day in terms of my cats. Like, oh, that's a box. Even if it's a little too small for me, I'm gonna fit in it. I love
that. Another genre I love. I like when a cat looks you in the eye and does something wrong. I love a cat is like, "Am I allowed to push this off?" And you're like, "Nope," and it like stares you down and slowly nudges it off a table and destroys it. Awesome.
Yeah, what's up with that?
They're the devil.
Oh.
I also love when an animal does like misjudges something. I love a cat misjudging a jump.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like one of my oldest cat does this a lot, where he'll like chicken out of a jump like halfway through, like right before he's about to do it. He'll like get ready and then be like, "No, I don't want to do it," and stop like as it's already started and kind of like.
Oh, that's funny.
It's very cute.
What else is a strength for cat videos?
Yeah, I think the fact that, like I was saying, that cats also have changed so little that there is a wildness to cats, right? Even domesticated house cats that you don't get with like dogs. Like the cats are still per wild animal,
That's
which
so
is awesome.
true. Yeah, you see, cats will stalk. Like if you have a laser pointer, it'll stalk the laser pointer like it thinks it's going to kill it, which is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that cats think that I'm hungry, so they bring me dead mice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a good source of
so
mice.
Considerate, you know?
It's real gross, but that is This is like a really interesting.
I mean, I'm never hungry. They never catch me when I'm actually hungry, but I'm always like, this is
always
so
the case.
awful. You are so sweet.
I read this really funny experiment they did where they had pet dog owners and cat owners go into a room and pretend to have trouble like opening a box.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a person come in, and some of the times the people would help the owner with the box. Sometimes they would do nothing, and sometimes they would like be rude to the owner about the box. And with dogs, depending on if the person was helpful, when that person tried to give them treats, they would accept the treats more. If the person was rude, the dogs would be more hesitant to accept treats from that person. Cats didn't give a shit. They took treats whether you were nice to their owner, indifferent, or mean to their owner. Cats all the same. And it's not that they're necessarily like rude. It's just that because cats, like dogs as pack animals, have evolved to learn social cues, to pick up on cues, right?
Yeah.
Because those are very important in packs. Cats, the solitary animals, just literally do not pick up on things like that. They are just unaware that those are things. And
I think you're probably right. The smarter point is that they've evolved to not be aware of those social cues, but I would be willing to bet that they know them and don't care.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's the attitude of cats that, like, even if you can make the explanation that they don't know, their attitude is such that they know and they don't care, and that's way fun.
Well, yeah, there's
I think it could be a sort of existential understanding that cats might have of just like, like a futility type thing, like, nothing is really that important. Sometimes, Are they Buddha or are they the Joker?
Interesting.
I thought they're just like French,
There's a great
Buddha, Joker, or the French.
That is the French disposition is Buddha plus Joker.
No.
There's a great Terry Pratchett quote that is like, cats used to be worshipped as gods, and they have not forgotten that.
Yeah, that's good.
Since we're still imagining, going back to Hunter, your point about them bringing you a mouse when you're not hungry. If they evolved a little bit, which they've been trying not to, they've done a good job of not evolving, but if they did evolve a little bit more, I really like the idea that you have an indoor-outdoor cat, and it was just like, it brought you some French fries.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That it was just out bruising, and you're like, look, these are used, there's like half-eaten French fries. I can't eat these, but you're closer.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they experimented a little bit. Let's see what happens if I bring
this
like
penguin.
The crows will bring you shiny objects if you give them nuts. It's just like figures out what you want, what a good trade is,
and tries to give it to you. Yeah. It's weird that cats insist on bringing us dead mice over and over.
It's their only currency. Yeah.
It's like, can they just come up with something else?
Anything else, really?
Like even if in jail, it's like even if we want something else, they're like, this is all we got out here.
Yeah.
This is what we can trade for.
You know what's funny? Cats bring you mice, right? But you know what they would never bring you? Their own food.
It's
not like a cat would ever be like, here's some of my cat food.
You're
ever.
hungry, have some kibble.
Well, I mean,
they would never do that.
That we gave that to them, right? Where it's just like, here is back the thing that you had a second ago. I don't think they understand that's weird, right? That's not actually a gift.
I just feel like the lines are kind of interesting.
It is an interesting line they've drawn on that. I agree. All right, let's move into part 2 of this review. Let's talk about the weaknesses of cat videos because they're not all the strongest. So
yeah, I think
we were just
Hunter
talking about
made a good point earlier about how you come to YouTube for the cat videos, but stay for the radicalization.
Yes. They have aided the alt-right in recognizable ways, okay? And cats need to answer for that, frankly.
Yeah.
That is true. I agree that it's a weakness. It might be a weakness that applies to a lot of things on the internet.
It could be. We'll have to think about that more, though. We're only considering cats right now.
Yeah.
And so another thing is, Anthony, you mentioned in your presentation about people being cruel in the way they take photos of cats or the way they use their videos for cats. One thing, in addition to like just the straight up physical cruelty, I strongly dislike I've pranked my pet.
Oh
yeah.
Video where you're like I did the blanket thing and then ran to the hallway and the cat thinks I'm gone or whatever. I don't like the emotional manipulation.
Like when people pick cucumbers behind snakes because cats think that they're they pick cucumbers behind cats and cats jumps, but it's because the cats think that it's a snake or something behind them.
Yes.
So you're really just terrifying your cat for no good reason.
That's real bad. But people should put cucumbers behind snakes and see if they just like make a new friend.
Yeah,
I like that.
Or you're like, wow, I'm gonna reach for this cucumber and I accidentally grabbed a snake. It's terrifying.
I took 2 bites of the snake before I realized there was a snake and not a cucumber.
You got a perfectly good snake.
I will confess though that that's not specific to cats. I do hate all prank videos on humans as well. Pranking is the worst art form.
A bad genre. It's just not good. I don't like the cat videos where they're showing you know how like our relationships with cats, cats are just like manipulating us and they don't really care at all. I hate the videos that kind of show that, like whenever you see there was a video I was watching the other day where a cat was making like a really weird noise. It was like Nyah! And it was because it didn't know that it was being filmed. And then when it saw it was being filmed, it changed its voice instantly to meow, meow.
What?
I hate that.
You hate when cats like are phony for the camera?
I hate when the phoniness of it kind of falls away because I want to believe in the lie. That's what I want.
Yeah, don't show me the man behind the curtain, kitty.
Don't show me the man behind the curtain. I just want to see, the kitty loves me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also, a big problem for me, my biggest weakness in all of this is the celebrity pets on the internet because they die.
Yeah.
And I had one of my favorite internet pet in the world died a couple weeks ago, and it was really sad. And it's hard. I don't get the day off work for that.
Yeah.
People don't seem to appreciate how sad it was that Noodle passed.
I just want to say, do they really die though?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
wait, what is it was like maybe true. It's a question. What does that mean? What do you
mean?
They
really
is it
die,
like Elvis? You're like,
no, it's not. It's not like conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, like
this isn't like that lady from the romance novel forums who.
No, I'm just saying the celebrity. I'm just saying the celebrity cats will live on forever in our hearts and minds.
I mean, that's true. The cat videos didn't invent mortality. That was there already. Now it's like true.
We can't
love more people.
Well, but they made it. I mean, look, the famous saying, like, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
I know that.
That's my only point. That would be the point that I would make is it?
You're questioning that.
The videos have made it so that I can be more emotionally attached to more animals that will die shortly. And that is really tough.
Yeah,
right.
I put another weakness is this is not. I don't know if this is cat video's fault, but I think it is that kind of like Dunning-Kruger effect of like people learn a little bit about cats and like the amount of like again there are people who are genuinely cruel to their animals to exploit them to make videos, but you also see a lot of nowadays is like someone posts like a very simple video of a cat. And there's like 50 comments being like, "You are a horrible pet owner. How dare you let your cat look at the sun? You're a fucking monster."
Oh my God. I'm so glad you brought this up. And this is true for everything too. It's not just cats. It's not just pets. Every video that I post, someone is like, "I can't believe you're treating your plants that way," or whatever. People are so addicted to calling out cruelty.
They don't like how you did that.
That the gun just goes off in all directions now. They don't know how to aim anymore. Kids learn the power of calling out, and then just like it just goes wah everywhere, and they start spraying it on people.
But the amount of pet owners, people being like, "I bet you have never. Your cat looked hungry. It wanted treats. You have never fed your cat before, ever." I'm gonna personally come and kill you. And it's like, whoa,
Oh
Jesus
yeah, that's
Christ.
amazing.
It's just
All right,
insane.
the last thing I think we need to make sure we cover in the weaknesses is Ezra, you've added the note shopping penguin.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I don't know if you guys remember Shopping Penguin. This is
one where he would like in a Japanese village, and he would waddle down to the fish store and then put a fish in his backpack.
This is the early, I guess, old enough thing, right? Penguin enough.
Yeah, penguin old enough. Yeah.
But you were saying, like, hey, the cats, they only do the mice, right? And Shopping Penguin figured out how to get fish and save some for humans. Right. And so I'm just wondering, like, can cats do a little better there? Right. Shopping Penguin figured it out.
So we've been partially on purpose, but we've been a little bit sloppy. I have, at least when I'm talking about cat videos, I'm talking about all pet videos a lot of the time. We've talked about stuff that applies to cat videos and also to dog videos, but you're making the very specific with cat videos. For them to be the best thing ever, they have to be better than dog videos. They have to be better than penguin videos.
Oh my God, that's going to be such a good episode.
I don't know if we're doing another animal video one.
Penguins have been around for 10,000 years.
I think we should
recently.
We should, if we were doing this the right way, we would just kind of knock out a whole slice of something first.
Yeah.
So it would just be various genres of animal videos, and we go through all of those.
I'm willing to say that I think it would be repetitive for us to do dog videos in the next year. We would have to be much later that we would so I'm hoping that sort of stands in for animal videos.
Yeah.
But that does bring me to my change for the changes. So Ezra, you mentioned you wish cats could do more. For step 3 of the review process, we're going to talk about things we would change to make cat videos even better. One of the things is I would like to see more diversity in alt animals in videos. And it's been happening recently on TikTok. I think there's been some pushes in this direction. There are a lot more cow videos than there used to be. About a year or two ago, people on the internet discovered that cows are just grass puppies, and they're actually like one of the friendliest and most fun animal in the world, despite being 3,000 pounds. And so I think there's a lot of really interesting movement going into cow videos. One of my favorite TikTok accounts, and this is one I feel guilty for liking, but there's a woman who has a beaver who lives in her house, and she insists it's not a pet, that she's like running a legitimate rescue, but he gets to stay inside for a little while. But this beaver lives in her house and builds dams in her hallway with her stuff.
Hell
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It'll grab a plunger, put it across the doorway, and then it'll go grab a blanket and put it across the doorway on top of the plunger.
I love that. What does he have a name? What's his name?
He does, and I cannot remember what it is. I will find this, and I will add it to the notes or tell you before this is over.
Everyone Google. Wait, no, never mind. I'm not going
to just look for Lady Beaver House.
No.
Just look for that. Lady Beaver videos.
Looking through some of these old cat videos and seeing like a lot of them are like 240p or just not high resolution, I would say from now on, all cat videos need to be 4K 3D via 120 frames per second with HDR on.
Yeah, especially the frames per second. I want to see it smooth.
I want to see smooth, buttery, high resolution cat videos. I'm sick
I agree
of
with a
these
lot of this.
low-res
I do not want them to be in VR, but other than that, yeah.
I want. I mean, look, we know cats wouldn't know what to do with money, but since people are getting rich off of them, I think they should get it anyway and just figure it out.
Yeah,
you know, like I like give them like a little dial thing, maybe. Like figure out a way to interpret their wants and give them a lot of money from that, because I think otherwise it feels exploitative, and so I want more profit sharing.
I just want to say I love your idea, and I agree, but I think the idea with the whole celebrity cat is that they get like treats and stuff, and that's how they pay them back.
Yeah. So, actually, I kind of want to disagree with you, Ezra. Like, I think this is a big problem with the internet right now. There's a lot of exploitation with children because they're people. And they're not necessarily getting everything that they need out of it, and they're being exploited.
And they're having their entire lives documented without their consent on the internet.
Not cool. So far, so good.
Whereas I feel like cats are getting literally everything they want out of it.
Yeah.
They already had that, though, so they should be getting something more.
I don't know. I think they get.
Do they think that? Do they feel that way?
I mean, they're not happy. Like,
by the way, the beaver that I was in love with is Beaver Baby Furry Love, which also don't Google, but if it's at Beaver Baby Furry Love on TikTok.
Yeah, try to say that
exactly right. It's a minefield.
Beaver Baby Furry Love.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with that, but I think that's the one, which is Beav, the beaver who builds dams in the hallway. All right, but in general, I'm for profit sharing. So but I also don't love rich cats. I don't know that I like that. I don't like wealth hoarding. I like fat cats, literally, but not figurative. But I don't like. But yeah, I don't like wealth hoarding. So, and I feel like cats are not going to spend the money.
Yeah, I mean,
and I also think cats could like be unhealthy. So I don't want to be like, look, this cat's a star, so we give it fresh salmon every day. Like that cat's it's not gonna be good for that cat.
Well, I hear the thing about it. So, like, you know, the classic cliche of like this rich old person died and they left their fortune to their cats.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, every time this happens, it's the best.
I want that to happen, but in reverse. I want like a rich old famous cat to die, and it leaves all of its money to like me. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That would be, you know, I would
that
like
would
to
actually make up for my problem of the famous animals dying. Is if when they did, I got their money.
Yeah.
I don't know how that worked. I don't know how I got involved, but I like it.
Well, so the thing is, I kind of became friends with Keyboard Cat, and
I took care of him
over time. Every time you'd work with Keyboard Cat, you'd whisper in its ear that maybe you should be part of the will, and now you're the whole thing.
Well, we kind of bonded over a couple things.
Gosh. Guys, wait! Knives Out, put Claws Out, where it's just a famous cat.
Oh my God, yes.
That's a good idea. All right, we're going to close on that. It is time now to officially put this on the list. Let's rank it among the best things ever. That is the master list.
Oh,
look, there's not a lot on there.
No.
Okay, it's number 1 with a bullet. Cat videos. It is the top thing. It is currently the best thing ever on the master list. Each week on the show, we're going to rank things that will get more interesting when there are more things. So,
hold up.
What?
So I see for number 1, you've got cat videos. For number 2, you have nothing.
Yes.
And then for number 3, you have nothing. So I think we should rank it against nothing. And I think
cat videos better than nothing is a very
better than
question.
nothing or nothing.
Nothing is pretty interesting. To be honest, it's kind of scary. Nothing
is terrifying. You don't like the bottom of the sea, which is just
deep.
Visual nothing, but you love the idea of nothingness.
That's still something.
I just think we could do we could do nothing at number 1, number 2 cat videos, number 3 nothing.
I think
here's the thing: nothing is so fucking rad and rare that something had to happen to take it out. You know what I mean? There hasn't been nothing in billions of years.
No, you were so close, Anthony. Nothing is so boring and basic that literally anything destroys.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
How do you know that, Alex?
You just said it took something.
It can't be boring if there's nothing. Yeah, exactly.
All the money in the world can't buy nothing.
This is going to be more interesting later. Here's my question instead. Do you think cat videos have a chance? So we got a lot of episodes coming up that we've already sort of picked topics for. We got episodes after that, hopefully, if we do well, that we haven't picked. Do you think cat videos are going to end up being the best thing of all time?
No. I think there's a small chance nothing's better.
Yeah.
Also, literally, hasn't anyone said like, "Oh man, nothing's better than this cat video," which means literally nothing has to be better than that cat video.
No,
that's what that means.
I think you're misunderstanding.
No, that's what it means.
Yeah.
I think it's an intentional misunderstanding for comedic purposes.
That's what it means.
I don't think that's what it means. All right. So we don't have a lot of faith that's going to stand, but we do love this, right? This is still high value. This is one of the best things ever, right?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely, it's no Dark Souls, but it's like, it's not bad. Like, it's certainly pretty good.
Here's the only exercise we can kind of get out of this. If this list had everything on it, like let's say we finish the show. And we've now ranked everything. Do you think cat videos would be in the top 100?
Yes.
Top 2? You think it'd be in the top 100?
I think it's the top 1,000.
I think I could say top 1,000.
How many things are there?
1,000. There's like at least 8 things. There's a lot of things.
Well, if there's only 8, then it's definitely in the top
100. Well,
100.
there's more than 8. Okay, there's a lot.
Give me a better estimate, Hunter. How many things are there?
There's
420 things. All right, let's say that. There's
a lot of
420 things. I would say cat videos are in the top 40 out of
let's
420.
Let's say how about this? 500 episodes deep. 500 episodes deep of this show.
Yeah.
What hundreds place do you think cat videos would be in?
I still think 90th percentile. So I think cat videos, if 500 episodes, it's in the top 50 for sure.
All right.
Here's the thing. I agree with Alex in principle. I just think, things are cyclical and cats haven't been canceled for a long time. And I really feel like they're overdue. I feel like cats being canceled is kind of like that earthquake in the Pacific Northwest that they've been saying is going to be coming any day now.
That's a good point. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I
you're
kind of feel
protecting your
like
heart.
yeah.
But in terms of things that have provided me the most joy in my lifetime, cat videos are in the top 10%.
Can I just say
I
this
have
is
gotten
wild?
so much joy from cat videos over time. It's hard to discount them at this point.
It's wild though. Okay, so this is good. This is good. But it's wild that cat videos is a thing. But we never really even considered as cats as one of the best things ever. Which is like it's like imagine like donut pictures
because we definitely did talk a lot about cats.
I know,
in
but
general.
so wait, here's a question: are cats above cat videos?
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you were like, we're going to take away one of these two things and be like, I'd rather there be cats in the world than just videos of an extinct species cat.
That would make this a lot weirder.
Like this is covering all animal videos. We're also sort of covering cats as an animal.
Some weird genre.
I'm really into dodo videos. It's really cool.
Dude, I love when a dodo rides a Roomba. Okay, how about this though? Really quick then. Our cats, if we were to do episodes where we did 500 episodes, one about each animal, are cats in the top 50?
Oh, cat will be in my top 10.
Yeah,
just animals,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Top 10.
I mean, I like almost every animal except moths. I love animals so much, and I do think cats would be up there. Yeah,
I really
moths
did not
would be like
expect
my number
moth
2.
Like be mentioned so many times today. Like if you had to ask me what
didn't have that on my
animal
bingo
would
card.
come up, yeah, moss would not have been on mine.
Well, next week, show us your animal bingo card beforehand so I can make sure we get something good off
That's
it.
a good point.
All right. Last thing, we got to do some business. In the future, just as we will have more things on the list, we will also have more business to do. This is going to be the mailbag in the future. You can send us an email at any time. And I remember the email address.
Is it mail?
It's mail@bestthingeverpodcast.com. But let me just use this business to give you guys a quick tour of what we are going to do. So coming up next week, we are talking about fresh bread. And I think we might, if he's got time, have Ezra introduce this, give us the deep dive instead of Anthony on this one, because Ezra cares the most about fresh bread. We'll see, though. You guys can talk about it.
Yeah.
Ezra will certainly make bread for this
I will
episode.
make the bread. Yeah, I'll make bread.
And I have not made bread since the end of pandemic because it's not expensive. And when I have...
Look at you, got some bread money.
But maybe I'll make bread again. It's been a while, and I really like it. Also, my new trick, I made butter a couple weeks ago for fun, and it was rad.
Nice.
You could just put cream in a jar and shake it, and it becomes butter. It's crazy. And what's cool about it is 11 minutes, it's not butter. For 11 minutes, it's just cream, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm butter. It's so quick that it goes from being not butter to being butter. It's rad. Anyway, and then you use the buttermilk, Ezra, to make your buttermilk pancakes. Anyway, fresh bread, I think possibly fresh butter, both on the table for next week. I'm going to consider doing both of these again, busting out the bread. But after that, we got some other cool topics coming up. We're going to watch My Neighbor Totoro, our first media review. Then we're going to talk about a concept, which we haven't done yet, playing Halo with the boys. And just like cat videos can apply to other animals, this will be obviously video games with friends is really what it means, but in quotes, playing Halo with the boys was the suggestion.
Only literally.
Playing Halo with the boys, you know.
We're going to talk about warm beverages and then professional wrestling. Then we're going to talk about doing stand-up comedy, which is something that Anthony, Hunter, and I all do regularly. Ezra does not do regularly, but will do for the first time for the show.
Yeah, you
and
better.
we'll bring a recording of his debut for the episode.
I realized when like a past version of you agrees to a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You wrote a check and you're going to have to cash it in 7 weeks.
I'm excited that this one right now reacting to it isn't going to have to do it either, but the one in the future.
Yeah, it's Ezra, you literally signed up for like what most people would call like a nightmare. You're going to do stand-up for the first time and share it publicly with a bunch of people.
You also signed up for what every Uber driver I've ever had would call a lifetime goal.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, every Uber, if you tell it, which you should never do, but if it comes out that you're a comedian, every Uber driver will tell you they've always thought about trying stand-up comedy. This is that joke would have killed other comics. That is a thing, Ezra. You just didn't follow it, but that is every comedian knows that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, hey, I didn't really want to be hurt, guys, but like, my friends are comedians and they insisted that I come out, and so I guess they think I'm really funny or whatever. It's fine, yeah, guys.
People love that. And then after that, we're going to round up series 1 with Waffle House. So those are our coming up 8 topics. We will break those up. Probably they won't actually all happen in that exact order because we'll have some guests coming in a few weeks, and then we'll when we do what they want to do or one of these. But that's the general official plan for the series 1 of season 1, which brings us to the end of the show portion of the show. That's it, you guys. We made it. We got to the end.
We did it.
Episode 1.
Is there anything that people can do? Like, if people are gonna like us, can they do a thing?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me tell you about the show. You can follow us on social media at BTE Pod on Instagram and Twitter. At BTE Pod on both of those. We are going to be active on those too the most. You can also obviously follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/AlexFalcone, and that's where you'll find the playlist of BTE episodes. You can watch all of this stuff happen in real time. You can also email us, mail at bestthingeverpodcast.com. Our theme music is by @Mitrix on Instagram. Our logo is by Tom Typography. I'm your host, Alex Falcone. This is Ezra Fox. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Of course.
Anthony Lopez.
Hey, it's a lot of fun.
And Hunter Donaldson.
Yeah, hey, love moths.
Great chatting with all of you. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye.